Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our first storyteller, Leslie Santamaria, who is a member of our board. Leslie served in Honduras from the year 2000 until 2002 and was a business volunteer. Leslie?
I'm the only one that wore a Peace Corps shirt tonight. Okay, I can't see anybody, so I apologize in advance. This is first time up on stage, and I'm first. So anyway, okay. So I got to hang out with Shakira almost every day after lunch in La Esperanza, the town in western Honduras where I lived. And I lived in a really cushy Peace Corps site. So it was a fairly big town. It's a regional capital, so it was about 50,000 people. I had electricity, including an electric shower, which is about as safe as it sounds. And I had a grocery store, an actual grocery store with a cash register, and a Chinese restaurant. And it was enough for a single gal like me in her early 20s, living really away from home for the first time, to have her own apartment. So that was pretty cool. So I lived in this really nice garage apartment. I had a really big porch on it, and I had a view of the Opelika Mountains, so I could sit there and watch the sun go down and drink my fabulous Honduran coffee and just really enjoy life and ponder everything. It was in the middle of town, so I could see everyone as they walked by. It was really nice setup. So one day I was taking my siesta, as anyone should when you're living in a Central American country, and I heard my landlady, Doña Cata, come up onto my porch, and she was laughing hysterically. And I was like, what's she doing here? This is kind of a weird thing for her to just be up there laughing. And so I opened my door, and I saw Doña Cata laughing at a spider monkey, which was in my hammock that was on my porch. Now, I know at first glance you might think, okay, yes, Central America, monkey, that sounds about right. But this is not normal. So there were no monkeys in town. There were no monkeys anywhere. Monkeys belonged in the eastern part of the country where there was a lush tropical rainforest, not in the western part, which was high up in the mountains. So it was really strange that there was a monkey in town in my hammock. But okay, so I asked around, and it turns out that this was an abandoned pet that someone just thought, oh, this is a great pet, and then I just leave it here. Rumor had it was one of the local police chiefs who got called away to his next post. And I guess if you're the type of guy that's going to have an endangered species as a pet, you're the type of guy that will just leave it when you get called on to the next post. So he just abandoned it. And this monkey, whose name was Shakira, of course. Yeah, get it now? Yeah, I know. Sorry. Shakira would just wander around town. She didn't have a permanent home. She lived everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And everyone loved her. I mean, kids would try and play with her, and she didn't care. She would just chatter at them and say, leave me alone. Adults would either be terrified of her because people had never seen a real monkey before. I certainly hadn't outside of the zoo, because monkeys didn't belong there. And, it was just a really, really funny thing to have on my hammock. And I love monkeys as a kid, so I thought, well, this is my chance to have a pet monkey. I quickly discovered there's reasons why we don't have monkeys as pets. There are no tropical animal vets in town, so she was not in the best of health. She was a little stinky. So I said, okay, you can go back to living in the streets like the wild woman you are. So Shakira, we had this routine. After lunch, I would sit in my hammock, and she would come, and she would swing from my hammock to the monkey bars and back and forth. Nice little thing, and then she'd go off to wherever else she was going. So one day I was taking a siesta, surprise, and I heard some people out there, and I saw Shakira, so I went out there, and everyone's looking at Shakira, and they're laughing, and I come out, and they're pointing and laughing at Shakira, and I was like, yes, this is a monkey. And I would always try to get Shakira to do tricks for me, but she wasn't really into it. But I thought, well, maybe now she'll do it. So I was throwing balls at her, and I was trying to give her tortillas, but it didn't really work. And so this woman had her little daughter with her, and the woman said, she kept pointing and saying, wow, look at that, I've never seen that before. And she was showing her daughter and saying, look, there she is. And I was saying, yes, there's Shakira the monkey. And the woman says, I can't believe it. It's really a gringa. I always heard that she lived here, but now I get to finally see her. So Shakira might have been the rock star, but that's when I learned that I was the show in town. So thank you.